that, we're going to talk real quickly about how to set up audio ducking. Obviously, super important, super useful. Yeah. So, without further ado, let's get to it. We'll go back to hell mode. All right. So, let's say that we are set up like this and we want to make it so that the players are quiet when we're talking. Now, obviously, we don't want to talk over the players in important moments. Do try to avoid that when we're commentating. But when they're just like chattering about stuff, maybe you have something important you want to say, or maybe you ever want to say anything and there's a loud player at the table who just talks the entire time. All of those things, very reasonable. But it is an unpleasant experience for the listener when there's a bunch of people talking all at once. That's just a fact. And so I like to set up ducking so that when I am saying something, just while I'm saying something, the players get a little bit quieter. And that's also true for my co-commentator. So to do that, we're just going to set up some filters. So to do that, we go to either here, or you can see it here if you click either one. But you don't want to do it on your voice, because your voice isn't the thing that we want to filter. It's the Discord, which is the players, that we want to filter, both to duck to my voice, but also duck to Google Meet. So all we do is we set up a filter. So hit that plus sign. So you can also use this to set up other things, such as, for example, a noise gate, which is just going to be a way to get rid of any like microphone fuzz you have, so that you have to be speaking a certain loudness to get through. So you can set up something like that. And you'll just need to play with the specific settings for your specific voice and mic fuzz to find the right spot for that if you'd like to set that up. Obviously, none of this is going to be visible to your players or viewers. So don't worry about your players being offended that you're setting up mic ducking for them or whatever. And don't worry about your viewers seeing all of this like technical stuff, because they're not going to see it. That's just not something that they have access to. Right, so you can have a noise gate or noise suppression going to make sure that your voice is going. I do use both of those with my own settings to make sure that everything is working properly. And that's just to make the listening experience as pleasant as possible. And I know it's not perfect. I know that sometimes people do complain about you know, my wow, that's really annoying, you blah blah, I can hear your doodly doo. Yeah, and that's fine. Anyway, so you can only do the best you can, and none of us here are professionals, so we just do what we can. So we're gonna add a filter to Discord, which is our players, and we're gonna be making them quieter. So we just hit, it is a compressor, and we'll call this the my voice duck. And then we just have to update these settings. So I stole my settings from Big Al when I first started doing this. I will show you what settings that Big Al was using. And but ultimately, when you do this, you're going to want to make it whatever works for you. So the different things that you're most likely to actually need to adjust are, so the ratio is effectively how much are you ducking them. The threshold is how loud do you have to be in order to cause the players to get quieter. The attack is how long it takes after you start talking to duck the players effectively. The release is how long you have to stop talking until it lets the players go back to full volume. Don't use the output gain thing, and then all I have to do here is choose my voice here, because that is the ducking source. So like the thing that we're doing. And I will set this up both for my voice and then also for my Google Meet for my co-commentators so that the players duck in both cases. And that's all you have to do. It's very simple. You'll see them both up here in filters. And you can also set up a noise gate or suppression for yourself so that there's less buzzing. And then we should have a positive, delightful audio for your players to enjoy. So that is the kind of technical part of it, which is great. Next, we will talk about Twitch and how to set that up with all the correct settings, including making sure that you actually save your videos, because VODs are not a default setting on Twitch. And that should be basically it. Then just talking about style and what to talk about, and then you'll be ready to stream. Thanks.